On today's video, I'll be sharing with you why I moved out of home. So if you are that one person who's all about personal development and also about self-development, please do watch up until the very end. Why? Because I'll be sharing with you life-changing information throughout this video. So without any further ado, let's get into it. The very first thing that triggered me when it comes to moving out of home, I've heard a lot of quite number of people, including my mentors, the people that I also look up to, who always emphasize the idea of moving out of home. So the idea came about you understanding that your environment is what is actually shaping your reality. So if you're experiencing something that you're actually not happy about, or if you're living a life that you're actually not happy about, consider moving out of home, simply because I'll be sharing with you some of the reasons that will bring about change and also trigger something in you, that will trigger something within you that will bring about change in your life. So just like I said, guys, I'll be sharing with you some of my personal experiences when it comes to moving out of home. Just like I said, I was influenced by my mentors and also people whom I always looked up into. So those are some of the people who always emphasize the idea of moving out of home. So one of my mentors by the name of Dr. Shaman, some of you know him. He emphasized that I should move out of home simply because that my environment is what is actually shaping my reality. So let's dive deeper into this. Your environment influences how you think and also how you view this world. If you are surrounded by negative environment and also negative people, it will be hard of you to actually experience different results, simply because you are actually in a cycle like this. It's constantly rotating the same energy, the very same people. You don't get to see other people's way of living and also way of life. So if you are moving out of home, it will be helping you in order for you to actually see life in a different way, get to experience life in a different way, and see how other people are living, not for you to actually adopt their way of living. You moving out of home, it will actually bring about change simply because you will be seeing life and also the environment in a different way. You will start doing things in a different way simply because you've understood that for you to actually step towards success, you need to change your environment. Just like I said, one of my mentors said that if you are that one person who knows chess and also knows about how chess is being played and also you know how to play chess, he said this: good moves comes from good positioning. So if you are in the wrong environment, you will be most likely not succeed in life simply because you are surrounded by negative energy. You are surrounded by people who you do not want to become. You are surrounded by negative. You are surrounded by an environment that you are actually not inspired to actually break the cycle. You are not inspired to do something new. You are not inspired to do something you have never done before, simply because you have not experienced the life except for what you actually seeing in every day of your life. So if you are moving into a new environment, it will be helping you to actually see life in a different way, see other people's way of living. Just like I said, see how other people are doing things out there. There is a lot of greatness, there is a lot of potential in you moving out of home. So simply because if you are surrounded by people and also the environment that actually brought you, you're most likely not to succeed simply because 90% of the time the people that you're always surrounded with are the same people who are sabotaging you and also sabotaging your ideas and sabotaging where you're thinking on going. So for you to actually see things in a different way, you need to move in a new environment. This will help you in order for you to actually live life in a way that you have not anticipated. So guys, those are some of the things that I actually came into conclusion that, you know what, I just need to move out from home. I didn't have any budget to actually move out of home. My life was not actually where I wanted it to be, but I understood that for me to actually live a life that I've never lived before, I need to move out from home. I need to start doing things the way other people are doing it. I need to adopt certain thinking habits that the people that are envisioned to become, the people that I wish to become, have actually adopted. Everyone I looked up into always emphasized the idea of moving out of home. So that's when I considered moving out of home. So my way of moving out of home was, let me try to get a job far from my hometown. So I've done exactly that, and then I got a job. After getting the job, that's when I moved out of home. I had no plan on how I would be surviving, but with the power of belief and also the power of doing things, I wanted to be independent. Independent in a way that I will be able to live life without depending on anyone financially and also physically, simply because I didn't want to become a net. I didn't want to actually depend on my parents, on my mom for anything that I actually want. So for me to actually move out of home, it helped me to actually build some sort of mental strength and also being able to balance life without depending on my mom and also my siblings and also my relatives. I wanted to experience life in a way that I didn't want to become a net, and I didn't want to actually depend on anyone. So financially and also emotionally and also maybe physically at some point. So those are some of the things that actually triggered me when I started to consider moving out of home. Just like I said, that I was actually influenced by my mentors and also the people that I always looked up into, because they always emphasized the idea of moving out. Another thing that actually triggered me when I was considering moving out of home was actually making my own decisions and also life choices. When I was at home, I couldn't do certain things simply because I was actually being limited to actually live life in a way that will allow me to actually succeed in life and also do what I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. So moving out of home allowed me to actually make my own life choices and also my own decisions. I actually matured more and also making calculated risk and also making life informed life decisions and also making life choices that actually favored me and actually propelled me to actually become the person that I am today. Another thing that actually triggered me when I was considering moving out of home was the responsibilities that came with moving out of home. I had to actually depend on myself, being responsible for every action that I take and also the decisions that I'm going to make and still making what actually triggered me. So I had to be responsible for everything that I do. Being able to be actually disciplined was some of the things that I had to be responsible of. So moving out of home doesn't mean that I would be having the freedom that I actually was deprived when I was still at home. When I say deprived, I mean like the freedom of making decisions, making bad decisions, just like maybe going to party or going wherever I wanted to go. No, being free for me came about me understanding that I need to do certain things whenever I want to do them. Me, for people who already know me, I'm someone who's actually an indoor person who actually loves to work. So when I say I was able to get the freedom that I actually wanted, was I was able to do certain things that I also wanted to do them whenever I wanted to do them, regardless of how I'm feeling on a certain day. So I was able to do certain things the way I wanted to do them simply because I was getting the time that I wanted. I was actually deciding what I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. So that's another thing that actually triggered me when I was considering moving out of home. So another thing that actually came in on board when I was actually considering moving out of home is the achievements. During the time when I was still at home, I couldn't see the things that I had achieved along the way, simply because I was actually seeing the things that my mom and also my family actually accomplished. So when I moved out of home, it actually helped me to actually see the things that I used to achieve, my smaller goals, my smaller achievements. When maybe, for instance, like buying a broom, it's something that I can see that no, I've actually improved that because I've actually bought a broom. So those are some of the things that actually made me to actually move out of home, simply because I wanted to see what I'm actually accumulating and also achieving on my daily basis, on monthly basis, on yearly basis. So I had goals from short term and also medium term goals and also long term goals. So when I moved out of home, it actually helped me in order for me to really see where I'm actually going in terms of what am I currently achieving, and also what am I aiming to achieve, relating more to the goals that I have. So the last thing that actually made me to actually move out of home, or I wanted to be free. I needed that freedom for me to actually do the things that I actually wanted to do whenever I wanted to do them. Just like I said, I was able to actually do certain things that I was not allowed to do at home. So guys, those are some of the things that actually I can share with you on today's video. I was able to be independent and also responsible and also disciplined enough, and actually had the freedom that I always wanted. So that's why I moved out of home. So if you did happen to find value in this video, please let me know in the comment section on what value you picked out in this video. And also guys, for more life-changing information, there is a book called The Visionary by Duncan Mnisi, which is more like a destiny but that will take you from where you are to where you deserve to be at. With that being said, I'll leave the link to the book on the description box. With that being said guys, if you are new to this YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and press that notification bell so whenever I get to upload, you will be the first one to be notified. With that being said, I'll see you guys on our next YouTube video.